Hello and welcome to another episode of Science is Appealing. I'm your host, Nicole Crowley. As you know, every week we like to highlight a different branch of science. This week we're highlighting arthropods. Yes, that's right, bugs. I personally can respect the role that bugs play in our ecosystem, but cannot stand the thought of bugs on me or in my home. Luckily, this branch of science researches bugs from all over the world. First, did you know there are a lot of bugs on this earth? There are over 10 quintillion bugs alive. 10 quintillion.
Big deal.
Yes, that is the number 10 with 18 zeros behind it. Naturally, that's too many bugs to illustrate on one show, so I will just mention a few that people are most interested and concerned with. First off is bedbugs. Bedbugs are parasitic insects, which means they feed off of blood, preferably human blood.
I am Dracula. I bid you welcome.
They are called bedbugs because they love to be under beds, but that's not the only place they can be found, including here. And here, and even here. They come in through the tiniest crack in your window, door, walls, or even floor. Then, with their heat-sensing antenna, they can sense out any carbon dioxide exhaling being, which means as long as you're breathing, they can find you.
Come out, wherever you are.
And here's the scariest part. They don't come alone.
It's a terrible thing to be lonesome.
There may be thousands of them in one small bedroom. And once they're in there, they sneak up on you and bite you. Be warned. Be warned. Be warned. It punctures your skin and drains your blood, while simultaneously administering a mild anesthetic and an anticoagulant so your blood flows faster. In one single bite, a bedbug will consume 3 times its weight. And it's not uncommon for someone to wake up and realize they have been bitten over 500 times in one night.
Holy nightmare!
Can you imagine waking up and finding 500 bite marks on your skin? Well, if you're like most people, you don't have to wonder. This has actually happened to you. Bedbugs are found in many homes, regardless of how sanitary your home is or how affluent your neighborhood is. That is because bedbugs don't feed on garbage, they feed on people. So where you find people, you're likely to find bedbugs. And this bedbug epidemic, according to Tom Neltner from the National Center for Healthy Housing, says they have an impact on private and public housing residents.
Basically, health impacts, the mental health impacts, we can't forget the economic issues, and then we have to recognize that there's a varying response. For many people, there's a stigma associated with bed bugs. They don't want to report it, and then some people don't care. It's just not a priority for them, which creates real complications in housing. We'll hear from Mike later on at CDC, but as far as I know, bed bugs does not that they're going to be infectious disease. Most of that research still. There's a question about is it still a vector for, could it be a vector for infectious diseases? So we've got a little gap here that we need to fill, but right now, this doesn't appear to be an infectious disease vector. However, that it is a case of infection can puncture, that can get through that skin, through that puncture. So it can be a case for secondary infections. That means our primary areas are going to be people with blood clotting diseases. We're going to have problems with immune-compromised diseases, diabetes, and then, of course, the elderly and children. So we're worried about the secondary infection. That seems to be a public health driver. But we don't want to forget the mental. People react differently to it. Some people are going to have the rash. Some people don't have anything. You have to recognize the impact on people's emotional status in their home. If you've got bed bugs, and I've had bed bugs years ago, when you've got bed bugs, your bed is not your comfort. And if you know the Maslow's hierarchy of need, if you don't have a place to feel safe and secure, you're not going to be a contributing member to society. It's going to disrupt how you live. So what we need to recognize is that because it's in homes, because it's in beds, it can have a tremendous impact on the mental health of people. Sleep deprivation, and of course, the stigma goes with that.
You know, about 30 years ago, we thought we had completely gotten rid of the bedbug problem.
Erase from existence.
In fact, these blood-sucking insects had completely disappeared in developed countries. But now, thanks to a connected world, where people can hop on a plane or ship and travel to most any place in the world, these bugs have made their way back. I know of a few people who have had problems with bedbugs. Bedbugs can come into your home even through used furniture. In fact, because so many people have tried on their own to get rid of these bugs, they are now immune to most pesticides. Thus, there is no way to completely rid ourselves of bedbugs. But wait, there is some good news. We aren't completely defenseless against these bloodsuckers. We know what they look like, and we know how to determine if they have been in our home or around us, and we know how to control the problem.
My, it's a big one.
You don't scare me!
With more on this is Lisa O'Keefe.
Bedbugs only feed on blood, whether it be mammals or birds. They are nocturnal, which means they are active at night. However, if they're very hungry, they've been known to be active in the daylight hours. And by the way, keeping a light on at night will not deter them from biting you. They hide in clusters in crevices. They have 5 nymph stages, and each stage must feed on blood to make it to the next stage. A female will lay 1 to 5 eggs a day and will lay 300 to 500 eggs in her lifetime. They crawl up to 20 feet one way to feed, and they engorge in 3 to 12-minute intervals. Their ability to crawl up to 20 feet away means they can start on the ground and move up to 5 feet to reach the bed just as easily as they can move up inches to climb up a stair to reach your legs. But why wait to be bitten before ever doing anything? Know what signs to look for before you ever see these bugs. Here's what you do. When cleaning or changing bedding, look for dark spots like these, which are bed bug excrements, and they may bleed on the fabric just like a marker would. Look for eggs and eggshells, which are tiny, about 1 millimeter, and white. Skins that nymphs shed as they grow larger. Live bed bugs, and rusty or reddish stains on bed sheets or mattresses. That's caused by bed bugs being crushed. So if you see any of these signs, you want to treat your area for bed bugs. This means either hiring a professional.
Who are you?
Bond. James Bond.
Or doing it yourself. If you think you can handle the task, you have 2 choices.
That's right, Lisa. You can either go the chemical route or the non-chemical route. I will discuss the non-chemical route as I am against anything that harms our environment. To use non-chemical treatments, you can wash and dry bedding and clothing at high temperatures to kill bed bugs, heat infested articles and or areas through at least 113 degrees Fahrenheit for 1 hour. The higher the temperature, the shorter the time needed to kill bed bugs at all life stages. Cold treatments below 0 degrees Fahrenheit for at least 4 days can eliminate some infestations. Again, the cooler the temperature, the less time needed to kill bed bugs. Use mattress, box springs, and pillow encasings to trap bed bugs and help detect infestation. For a chemical route on how to get rid of bed bugs, here are some warnings that the EPA has on their website. First, never use a pesticide indoors that is intended for outdoor use. This is just common sense, and it will help you in no way get rid of your bed bug problem.
Golly!
Second, using the wrong pesticide or using it incorrectly to treat for bed bugs can make you sick. And and may not solve your problem, and could even make it worse by causing the bedbugs to hide where the pesticides won't reach them. Check if the product is effective against bedbugs. If a pest isn't listed on the product label, the pesticide has not been tested on that pest and it may not be effective. Don't use a product or allow a pest control operator to treat your home unless bedbugs are named on the product label. Before using any pesticide product, read the label first, then follow the directions for use. Keep in mind that any pesticide product without an EPA registration number has not been reviewed by the EPA, so we haven't determined how well the product works. Okay, with these warnings on the chemical treatments, let's take a deeper look inside these pesticides. And remember, they alone will not get rid of your bedbug problem. Currently, there are over 300 products registered by EPA for use against bedbugs, the vast majority of which can be used by consumers. To help you find a product, EPA has developed a bedbug product search tool to help you find a product that meets your needs. If you find that a particular chemical treatment seems to be ineffective, please read when treatments don't work before reapplying or trying a different product. You may want to consult a pest management professional to inspect your residence and, if needed, apply approved pesticide to treat any infestation. For assistance with choosing a pesticide registered for consumer use, you may also check with the Extension Service office in your area. So up until now, I've only told you ways that you can possibly find out that you already have a bedbug infestation and how to control it. But now, here are some ways that you can prevent getting bedbugs. Let's go to Lisa O'Keefe.
Remember, we mentioned that bedbugs are great hitchhikers. They move from one site to another many times by catching a ride on old furniture or people's clothing. So here's a few simple precautions that can help prevent bedbug infestation in your home. Check secondhand furniture, beds, and couches for any signs of bedbug infestation. Use a protective cover that encases mattresses and box springs, which eliminate many hidden spots. The light color of the encasement makes bedbugs easier to see. Reduce clutter in your home to reduce hiding places for bedbugs. And when traveling in hotel rooms, use luggage racks to hold your luggage when packing or unpacking, rather than settling your luggage on the floor or on the bed. Make sure you check the mattress and the headboard before sleeping, and upon returning home, unpack directly into a washing machine and inspect your luggage carefully.
If you're interested in more about bedbugs, you can contact the EPA or your government. For example, Nassau County has a whole list of experts that can answer your questions. Want to know more about bugs that could be on you at this very second?
Certainly.
I knew you would. So here we go. These bugs can be just about anywhere because they are known to hitch rides on clothing or in purse. So then they get transported by you into your home or your office. In fact, about 30% of all households in New York City have these bugs. That's right, 1 in 3 homes. And this number could be much higher, considering these bugs are very good at hiding. Can you guess? No? All right, it's the cockroach.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
The average roach is about ½ an inch to 2 inches long, but can grow as big as 6 inches and have a wingspan of over 1 foot. With more than 4,000 species of roaches, there are no avoiding them. They smell, ruin food, cause allergic reactions in people, and carry diseases. In my opinion, cockroaches are gross, but they're also kind of interesting. In fact, did you know that cockroaches are super fast? They are able to run 3 miles per hour. Roaches can swim. In fact, they can hold their breath for over 40 minutes underwater. Roaches also have blood that is white. It's very interesting. This is all very interesting. This whole episode is very interesting. Roaches can breathe through their sides, which is one reason why they can live several weeks without a head. Roaches have been on our planet for millions of years, even before dinosaurs. Roaches are hard to get rid of. Duh. In fact, they may even withstand a nuclear attack because of the high levels of radiation they can withstand.
insect4 見つけたゴキブリに直接かければ速攻性のイメージ映像です。この通り。通り道にかけておけば待ち伏せ効果のイメージ映像です。この通り。速さと待ち伏せコックローチ S2。
Told you roaches are interesting, but as interesting as they are, they do not belong in homes. So how can you get rid of them? Clean up liquid and solid spills and food debris immediately. Roaches love leftovers, so don't give them any. This also goes for dirty dishes. For a roach, leftover food in dishes or even in open trash cans is a feasting ground. Remember to put away any bags of food and seal them in a container or with a twist. Roaches don't mind climbing up a ways to get to food, so remember to always seal and put away food. Don't leave a trail of crumbs for roaches to eat. Instead of walking around while eating, eat at a table. If you have pets, make sure to close their food in a seal-tight container, and whatever food they haven't eaten for the night should be thrown out or put out of reach. Remember, roaches love water, so turn off the water after you are done and wipe water off the countertops or out of sinks. Remember, roaches need water to survive, and even a drop is enough to satisfy them. Roaches love to hitchhike onto homes, so before you enter your home, check your book bag or purse to ensure that they aren't there. Roaches love to hide in paper bags, newspapers, or cardboard boxes, so get rid of those sacks. Another deadly villain insect is the common flea. They are about 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch long. They have dark bodies and pincher mouths, and they carry many diseases and germs. In fact, fleas are the cause of the Black Plague during the 14th century, which killed over 375 million people. More specifically, rats on boards of ships would carry this deadly bacteria on them. When the fleas would jump off the rats and onto people, they would inject them with this deadly disease. The people would eventually die because of lack of medical attention and medical knowledge at that time period. Fleas are known as a deadly villain throughout history, but there is one insect that is even more deadly. This insect has killed more people than any other living creature. Can you guess what it is? Not yet? Let me give you another hint. During a full moon, it increases its biting activity by 500%. Can you guess what it is now? It's the common mosquito. That's right, I'm talking about the mosquito.
Of all the blood-sucking insect pests which plague mankind, the mosquito is among the most pernicious. Mosquitoes are divided into two great tribes. The anophelines, some of which transmit malaria, assume this position in biting, and the culisines, which may spread yellow fever, dengue, and filariasis, bite in this position. The mosquito body is divided into three parts: the head,
You can't eat me, I'm too tough. I'll give you indigestion.
the thorax bears 3 pairs of legs and a single pair of wings. The head bears the eyes, the feelers or antennae, the palpi, and the beak. The abdomen bears no special structures except the reproductive organs. In the female, the antennae are fringed with short hairs rising from the edge of each segment, while in the male, the antennae are conspicuously tufted.
You're despicable.
The prominent antennae are the chief distinguishing features of the male. A mosquito bites primarily to obtain food. As the female settles down to a blood meal, her beak appears to bend at the middle. Actually, the beak consists of a jointed protective sheath that bends, while a thin lancet enclosed within this sheath pierces the skin. A cross-section of the beak shows that this lancet consists of 6 separate sinus, which enclose between them 2 tubes, one for saliva and one for blood. A small amount of the insect saliva is injected into the wound to prevent clotting of the blood, which is then sucked up as food. The abdomen swells perceptibly as the blood meal progresses.
That was satisfying, wasn't it?
Etc., etc., etc.
A male mosquito cannot bite or suck blood. A newly emerged male may try blood suction without success. The beak of the male is not constructed to pierce human or animal skin. Male mosquitoes feed exclusively on vegetable juices, the nectar of flowers, the juice of fruits. The female also feeds on vegetable juices, but blood forms the major part of her diet. But all mosquitoes require water of some kind. Floodwater mosquitoes lay their eggs singly in mud near water or in other areas which later may be covered with water. The eggs of floodwater mosquitoes can remain dormant, sometimes for years, until the conditions of warmth and water are suitable for hatching. Floodwater mosquitoes living in regions having cold winters
Blah, 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 blah,
overwinter in
blah,
the egg
blah,
stage.
blah, 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 blah.
A section of frozen mud taken from a swamp where floodwater mosquitoes are known to breed in summer, when immersed in water at room temperature, will cause mosquito larvae to appear a few days later. Most other mosquitoes overwinter in the adult stage. Such hibernating adults can be found in hollow trees, in
Boring.
culverts, under houses, porches, or in cellars. These mosquitoes lay eggs fitted with 2 floats on the surface of the water, or in large buoyant masses called egg boats. Except when overwintering, mosquito eggs hatch into larvae soon after they are laid. The mosquito larva, after
What
hatching,
you are
is
about
usually
to see
whitish
is
or gray in
bizarre,
color.
unsettling,
Floating at the surface
and
of the
riveting.
water, it inhales air through its breathing tube. It soon molts, shedding the original larval skin, emerging somewhat larger into the second instar, or period, of larval development. In the same way, the larva passes through the third and into the fourth and last instar.
Hello to my little friend.
The larva has no legs or other organs of locomotion and moves by a series of jerks or wiggles. In some species, the body of the larva is transparent. The adult rises up almost vertically, literally oozing out of the pupal envelope. The wings are first freed. Finally, the long legs are carefully extended to support the fully developed body.
But remember, insects are an important part of our ecosystem, and without that, our fragile system would cease to exist. And although some may find them repulsing, we need them. And it's interesting to watch their behavior and study them.
Discovered that the ant has high insect intelligence. Its life begins as a small egg, and development is like that of many other insects. Soon it hatches into a light yellow larva. It remains in the pupal stage a few weeks or months, depending upon its species. Ants live in a highly developed social order consisting of a queen, workers, soldiers, and young. The males die soon after mating, leaving the colony to the females. Each member of the community has a job to do. The female soldier defends the colony. The jointed antennae aid in touch, taste, and probably hearing. The soldier is recognized by its large body, jaws, and head. The worker has a smaller head and, like other ants, has a narrow waist. Her job is to build a nest, feed the queen, forage for food, and care for the eggs, larvae, and pupae. The queen is larger. Soon after mating, she loses her wings and begins her job of laying eggs. She may have a long life and live to be 20 years old.
For example, the ant is a very social insect. Ants dig tunnels that make channels for water, therefore benefiting plants. Bees pollinate fruit trees and flower blossoms. Other benefits from insects include controlling other insects and plant pests, and decomposing dead material, thereby fertilizing the soil by reintroducing nutrients into it. We need bugs, and we need entomologists who study the world of bugs. And if you are interested in insects, you should contact your school or local college to see if there's a career in that for you. Okay, well, look at the time. I need to bug out, but remember, I'm Nicole Crowley, and science is appealing.